Hi, this is Meridith Elliott Powell, and welcome to day 2 of your 5-day challenge. Listen, I know you had an amazing day yesterday with Dr. Mary Kelly, and today we're just going to continue to build because we really believe that you can emerge successful. You can actually start to control all this uncertainty, but you've got to know the steps, you've got to know the strategies, and that's why we designed this 5-day challenge. Now, today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, a strategy. Because if you have a plan, you have a strategy, you can really put yourself on the path forward. But every time I say strategy, it's kind of like I feel the energy suck right out of the room, right? It sounds overwhelming. It sounds too big to build. We're going to talk a lot today about how to make your strategy really simple. Because the truth is, none of us really know where we're going to wind up when this whole pandemic is over. But if you don't have a plan, you won't move. And if you won't move, then all this economy, everything, it is just going to pass you by. Now, I want to share my screen because I'm going to give you some tools today that are going to make strategic planning just a little bit easier. So here we go. All right. Now, what you've got in front of you is a systems thinking strategic plan. It's a tool that we're going to use to actually walk you through the strategic planning process. Now, I know it looks kind of big, but we're going to break it down piece by piece, and I'm going to walk you through every single step. One thing I want to draw your attention to is that this strategic plan, it is developed and created in a circle. And the reason it is because it's going to be fluid. We are going to change this plan quite a bit. And that should make you feel good because any decision you make in putting this plan together, we can change it. You don't have to commit to it forever. So often when I'm working with clients, they struggle to develop their vision or their goals or their values because somehow we've convinced ourselves we can never change them. And the truth is, we're going to need to change them quite a lot. Think about how much your life has changed since February. Really? I mean, a lot of the things that we held dear then have needed to change in order to be successful. It'll be the same in July. It'll be the same in December. So we're creating a plan that you can flex and change, but one that is going to keep you moving. Now, the outlier box up there, the purple box, is called the external environmental scan. And this box is critically important in strategic planning. It lets you know everything that you need to do and keep your eye on those things that are happening outside of your business that could positively or negatively impact growth. And we are living in a time when there is more external to your business than internal that can impact your growth. And if you see change coming, it's your greatest opportunity. If you ignore it, it will be the very thing that will flatten your business. Now, the red box, this is the dream state. You worked a lot with Dr. Mary Kelly on this yesterday about where you want to be, the vision. Where do you see the business in the next couple of years? And your mission and your values. Now, those are all the future and desired state of your business. And we're going to break that down and cover those one by one. Now, the green box is the one on the bottom there. It's the most fun box in the strategic planning process, and it's the key success measures. Where do you feel that? Where do you see what is this going to feel and look like when we're done? Maybe you're actually going to be able to take some time off. Maybe you're going to open a second location or offer a different product mix. You're going to open a second location, or you're just going to actually have a business day that goes from 8 to 5 and doesn't go into the evening. This is the box where you just get to dream and create what it's going to look like when you get there. Now, the SWOT analysis in the current state, that's where you are now. And of course, we need to understand where you are if we have ever hope of getting where you want to be. So in this box, we've got to embrace reality. Now, most of you have used a SWOT analysis for this. I've got a little different tool that I'm going to have you use. Makes it a little cleaner and a little simpler to follow. And last but not least is the yellow box. And that box are your short-term goals, or I like to call them priorities. Now, I like my clients to choose no more than 3, but what do we need to focus on first if we want to move from where we are to where we want to be? The yellow box is where you're going to live in the strategic planning process. So let's get started. All right, let's start with the purple box, the external environmental scan. This is something I want you to do every month. Block 30 minutes on your calendar and just brainstorm in these particular areas what you see happening in society, with competition, economics, politics, technology, industry, and your customers. What are the things that you see happening in those particular areas? Just brainstorm it down and get it down on a sheet of paper. Once you do that, I want you to walk away, come back maybe 24 hours later, and ask yourselves these two questions. What, if anything, do I need to pay attention to? And what, if anything, impacts my plan? What, if anything, do I need to pay attention to? And what impacts my plan? Think about politics right now. If you're in a state that is turned back on, then your plan may change. If you've been delayed to June or after that, it may impact your plan. How is the economy in your particular area working? Things in Houston, Texas might be very, very different from a manufacturing area that's been able to turn their plants on and do some manufacturing. Think about what's happening with society and how we're buying and how things are changing. All of these things we've got to be aware of as we build our strategic plans. Next, we move into that red box, the future state, the desired state, your vision, your mission, and your values. Now, Dr. Kelly worked with you yesterday on your vision, on your dream of where you want to be. And your mission, that is simply how you choose to get there. So your vision may be that you want to help your clients become successful. But one vision may be that you're going to do that by providing certain products and services, versus another may be that you're going to help them transform their businesses. Missions can be very different, but it's typically aligned with your products or services, the how you're going to achieve the vision. And your values, those are your promises. Who you want to be through this pandemic and after this pandemic. They're your guiding principles. They're what your promises you make to your customers, to your team members, promises they make to one another. So again, your vision statement, the dream of what you want to achieve. Your mission is how you will accomplish your dream. And your values, who you want to be during and after this crisis. So again, take a breath. I don't need this to be perfect. I don't need this to be wordsmith. I just need it down on a sheet of paper so we can establish direction. So what's your vision? You already did that. How are you going to do it? What are going to be the products and services you're going to deliver? And then what are some of the values that you've got? How do you want to do that? You want to be customer centric. You want to be dedicated to your community. You want to be a resource. You want to be a positive light. You want to be, have strong teamwork. Whatever those values are, go ahead and get those down. Now, current state. Where are we now? I told you that I was going to use something a little bit different than a SWOT analysis. We use a seeds, a weeds, and a needs. SWOT analysis is great. If you're more comfortable with that, just use it. But go out on the edge. Try this tool. It's a little cleaner and a little easier to understand and really gets to the heart of where you are now. Seeds, weeds, and needs. Seeds. What's working in your business? What are you doing really well? Maybe you're customer focused, or you've built the right team, or your products, they are spot on. Whatever it is, brainstorm those out. Weeds. What's holding you back? What's actually choking your business? What's preventing you from going forward? Maybe you've got some bureaucracy. Maybe you're not as adapting to change as quickly as you need to. Maybe your technology needs to be upgraded. Maybe you need to switch into a different industry because the one that you're working in now is really holding you back. There's just not enough business going on there. And needs, what do you not have that would really help you be successful? What are the couple of things that could really, if you invested in or made room for, could really take your business to the next level? So at this point, we know what is happening outside of our business. We've got a clear view of where we're going. We've got that light at the end of the tunnel. We understand where we are now, so we can look at that desired state. We can look at that current state. We can pay attention to the opportunities, the threats happening outside of the business, And we are in perfect order to focus on the next two things. Number one, key success measures. What's going to look like when we get there? Really, really have some fun with this. Again, maybe you're going to be taking time off. Maybe you're going to be a focused organization. Maybe you're going to be working with new industries. Maybe you're going to finally take that vacation. Maybe you're going to be cash flush. Whatever it is, put those down, because we want to further define the vision of what success is going to look like. But again, once we know what it's going to look like when we get there, once we understand where we are, and once we're paying attention to what's happening externally to our business, we can focus on our short-term priorities. Those three things that we want to focus on to really get us from point A to point B. Now, we want these to be measurable. It's not just enough to say that we need to increase profitability. We need to increase profitability by X amount. It's not enough to say that the team needs to be more productive or we need to increase sales. We've got to put a measurement on that and a time frame. Are we going to do it in 6 months? Are we going to do it in a year? And most importantly, when are we going to start? They've got to be action focused. So what are the steps that you're going to take? And no more than 3. Listen, you're trying to survive in this crisis. I need you focused really, really tightly. If you finish one of these priorities, you can add another one. But when you think of all the things that you've got to do to move from your current state to your desired state, there's a natural flow and an order to them. Really, you're not going to market your business until you update your website, right? You're not going to focus on getting new business until you've retained the business that you've got. You're not going to grow your business until you have the right team members and build a business plan for that. So there's a natural flow. So put all those ideas in order and choose your top 3. And from those, we're going to build action plans. For every goal, just 3, they get an action plan. Now, I always like to use action plans. I always used to use losing weight because we can all kind of relate to that. But imagine if you had to lose 20 pounds. You'd set a time frame that you were going to go now until maybe August of 2020. And some steps and strategies are you get a physical, you'd hire a trainer, you start a nutrition plan, you join a gym, and you commit to go 3 times a week. Now, your accountability would be your physical results and your membership attendance. Have you actually gone to the gym? And your measurement would be that your clothes fit better, you feel healthier, and you're losing 2 pounds a week. So you get it. If you want to say that you want to increase productivity by, 20%, you do that from now until maybe December of 2020. You need to look at some of your inefficiencies. You need to create a strategy for being more efficient. You need to decide who needs to be involved in doing that. And you measure and hold yourself accountable. So there you got it. That's your strategic plan. Please don't overthink this. I just want you to get a plan on paper. Because the other thing I need you to do is set up a meeting, and I want you to do it right now, is go into your calendar, and once a quarter, the last Friday of the quarter, I want you to block an hour, and I want you to look at your strategic plan, and I want you to walk back through this process. What's happening outside of the business? How are we doing on our short-term goals? What, if anything, needs to change with our plan? What are we accomplishing? Where are we struggling? Look, you need a strategy, not to be perfect, but you need a strategy in order to continue to move. You need progress in today's marketplace if you want to reinvent, reimagine, relaunch, and rebuild your business. So I hope that this has been helpful. You've got the recording, you've got the worksheet, you can go back to this. You've also got my contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out. But again, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Your plan does not need to be perfect. It's going to flex. It's going to change. Please don't wordsmith it. Just get your ideas down on paper and start to take action. If you do that, I promise you, you're going to thrive in all this uncertainty and you are going to emerge successful. So work through these, finish day 1, finish day 2, because you got some exciting stuff coming up in day 3 of this 5-day challenge. And I'll see you on Friday for our live Q&A section. See you later.